if you look at the art industry, or Creative Commons as we call it, the brands and shareholders own and leverage the creative minds to sell these products, and the kind of creative sector of that industry is almost leveraged against itself just for a paycheck, but it doesn't own the output that it makes. And then if you look at the blockchain model or the DAO model, we're suggesting that if we own the building, the marketplace, and the revenue, that we can control and direct other growth for the organization. Thanks for having me. So yeah, always entrepreneurial, but was working in marketing, digital marketing for my career, about 10-13 years. Gaming, fashion, mobile, gambling apps, and all of that stuff, and then got into crypto 2017, nice and early with that range of people. So started investing quite a lot in metaverse land, and then very early digital fashion NFTs. So it's quite early on artifacts, quite early on the dematerialized, and a few others. So that was actually one of my main passions really early, NFTs and DAOs. So yeah, deep in the staking scene there. And then I set up my first DAO, a property DAO, in London in 2020. So it was called Yoga Box, and it's aimed at nomadic travelers being able to co-live together across properties. So we did Yoga Box, then Media Box, and Arts Box. We're looking to do Plants Box next, which will do vertical farming, co-living as well. But yeah, so very much a DAO person, and set up that early property shared ownership concept that still runs, and that, I suppose, got me quite early on into that network. I was asking lots of the early DAO people questions about treasuries, governance, etc. So I was in a good position mentoring for Outlier Ventures and a few other VCs in those early days, just before all the NFT hype. And then we set up ArtSect NFT Gallery, which is an immersive NFT gallery, DAO led, in London in 2021, at the start of 2021, just after Super Chief in New York. And yeah, we've been running exhibitions for arts, music, and fashion, physically, digitally, and creating NFTs, both physical and digital. As I said, we were really lucky in that our founding team came from this property DAO that we set up already. So it was already existing in the London artist warehouses, which have quite a collective of creatives there. And then we already had our existing blockchain business, and we're training people in Web3, blockchain, etc. So that really had that seed foundation for a DAO and collective in the start, in the real world. So we decided collectively in early 2021 to form a physical gallery and to show art and champion the people, the artists that we represent from the community. So yeah, we rolled out that first trial in 2021 in an old tram space in Clapton, and it went really well. We did some early digital fashion exhibits and some blended raves and art exhibits, and we made a few metaverse plots, tested things with Sandbox, Crypto Voxels, Decentraland, did a few augmented trials with AR and VR with festivals, which has led on to now. One of the early things we did that I thought was a really fun use of technology was, if you remember OVR, there was a blockchain game called OVR where it gridded off the whole world into hexagons that you could buy, and then you could display your AR art there. And we brought out Art Basel Miami in 2021 December, really early, and we bought key locations where Art Basel would be set up, so we could then upload lots of sculptures and artworks digitally in AR in Art Basel, the festival, and then our team flew out there, videoed it, recorded it, and made a load of content. So we kind of did a takeover of the physical space using blockchain technology, and gave people access through the DAO. So that was really fun. And again, we've done Fashion Week every year since we started. This year is going to be huge. Lots of people physically involved, making digital fashion again, and a few really cool partners that we're planning to do drops with there. And just really, for us, it was that inspiration from the physical community in London and the output that we already had. It was obvious to us that using DAOs and NFTs, we could own the infrastructure of the creative industries, and lots of the people in East London already run these creative industries. Like, as a network, we run the agencies, galleries, brands, design companies. So having lots of those people from the universities and from the warehouses and scene in the DAO, we could then own our marketplace, our physical gallery, and our metaverse plots, and we could curate them together and put the funds together for impact aims. So we've worked really hard to interlink with other DAOs, Unicorn DAO, Cult DAO, The Empire, loads of them, and just really trying to ensure that our artworks and curation and everything we do go into that truly decentralized community. What we call the Web3 circular economy is a kind of oppositional opposite to Web2 economy thinking. So if you look at the art industry, or Creative Commons as we call it, the brands and shareholders own and leverage the creative minds to sell these products, and the kind of creative sector of that industry is almost leveraged against itself just for a paycheck, but it doesn't own the output that it makes. And then if you look at the blockchain model or the DAO model, we're suggesting that if we own the building, the marketplace, and the revenue, that we can control and direct other growth for the organization, then this represents a different model, a community model, a Web3 model, circular economy model, and that having governance as a collective over that is important for curational reasons to do with history. Who's picking art and why? What are these trends? And then secondly, where we direct the funds to can be transparently directed as a collective to impact causes, rather than in the old models where you might not know where the money's going, or it might go to unethical causes. So at least together as a collective, we can create a fashion line, know it's sustainably produced and upcycled, and know that the funds for that are going to support artists to learn how to make VR in the gallery. So really transparent, really circular, and incubating of the community. There is a lot of different aspects, as you said, and we're really trying to provide access and resources across the whole of arts, fashion, and music as the cultural commons. So wherever your passions and your tenacity take you, but we've roughly grouped it into patrons, curators, and creators. So if you create art, if you are one of the business people and want to get involved behind the scenes, you're in the curation gang, curator gang, and if you're a patron, you're a collector or a supporter, a distant supporter. And we're about to release our first NFT brain, which is going to govern the DAO. So you can get one of these brains. There's going to be a second token mechanism to record your experience and contribution in the DAO. But firstly, we're going to launch one of these brains. You get the brain, and that will allow you to vote on proposals, come to secret events, and get involved with some of the marketplace ecosystem that we're building, and then the DeFi pools later on. But essentially, we use a NFT governance token. We're we're mostly on Instagram, actually, being very creative, not too Twitter focused, but check out our Linktree. You'll find our Telegram there and the big group with everyone on. There's also a Discord as well. But then check out the pre-mint for this NFT brain, the governance brain, which is going to come out in September. And sign yourself up there and get in the Telegram, and yeah, come to one of the events in person.